Next, we're in Topeka, Kansas for a Supreme Court disciplinary hearing for attorney Dennis Hauver. The defense lawyers at the High Court, a year after a state review panel called for his disbarment, citing, among other things, professional incompetence in his handling of a capital murder case. Laying out the details of the panel's findings is the deputy disciplinary administrator for the courts. He claims Hauver had no business taking on a capital murder case to begin with.
Respondent only experience in a murder case was some 20 years prior to that. That was not a capital case. He really had no idea of the law of capital murder, the capital murder trial proceedings.
And what is your recommendation for what we should do today?
My recommendation is that you approve the discipline of disbarment.
With serious allegations leveled against him, and with his law license on the line, it is imperative for Hauver to present a professional rebuttal to the Supreme Court.
I appear before you today dressed as Thomas Jefferson, who's my hero among the founders.
That's right, donning a powdered wig, an 18th century suit, and white stockings, Dennis Hauver will now argue his professional competency in the state's top court.
I wore this outfit because today the United States Constitution protects my rights to try the case as my client and I agree.
The case in question was the capital murder trial of Philip Cheatham. The 30-year-old was charged with shooting 2 women to death and attempting to kill another during a home invasion. Cheatham had a long criminal history, including a previous manslaughter conviction for shooting and killing a man during a drug deal. Most defense attorneys would not want to introduce that history at trial, but clearly Hauver is not most lawyers.
My client was a criminal for a living.
While possibly an unorthodox defense strategy, Hauver claims it was not incompetent.
Don't forget, Philip Cheatham didn't complain about my performance or conduct. You did.
The jury ultimately found Philip Cheatham guilty of the murders and sentenced him to death. Following the hearing, the Kansas Supreme Court upheld the state panel's findings and disbarred Kenneth Hauver for what they called, quote, inexplicable incompetence. As for Philip Cheatham, the defendant in the capital murder case, he was granted a new trial due to ineffective assistance of counsel. He ultimately pleaded no contest to the murders in exchange for having the death penalty dropped. He was resentenced to life in prison with eligibility for parole after 25 years for the capital murder charge and received a consecutive 13-year, 9-month sentence for attempted murder.
Thanks for being a fan of CourtCam. Subscribe to A&E to never miss a new video and catch full episodes on aetv.com.